The Aegis Retaliator, flying out over the beautiful city of Arcor. It has an excellent landing gear animation, and it is billed as a heavy bomber. With 6 size 9 missiles, it's basically the Eclipse's older brother. When you get out from the cockpit, you see there's a turret right away underneath you, and then a ladder immediately across from you, which takes you up to the main beds area. There is another top turret there, and there are 3 in the back for a total of 5. The beds have a cool animation that I will show you later. The gun racks, unfortunately, you cannot interact with at the time. But it's still cool that they exist, you know, for the future. Although because there's just elevators that go down on the ground, this would not exactly make a good dropship. On the starboard side, right behind the cockpit, you have the little captain's room. Unfortunately, there's no med bay on this ship. And then if you go around to the port side, you see your first glimpse into the missile bay. I absolutely love the glass into the missile bay, and there's also doors that let you go inside of it. Obviously, I'm QTing right now, so that's not a good idea, but it really helps give a sense of scale of the missiles themselves. In the center room, there's a docking collar at the top and bottom, which is the easiest way to get in when you're in space. That's the bathroom, of course. Chris Roberts loves bathrooms. And then, again, down the starboard side, you can see there's windows to the missile bay on both sides. There's an engineering station, which doesn't do anything yet. At the back of the ship, on the far sides, in the top, there are 2 turrets that are mirrored to one another. And in the bottom center, there is another turret that you have to go down into the floor for. The turrets all do about 600 to 700 DPS, which is reasonable. It's the same as some of the smallest fighters. So that's, you know, like having a bunch of fighters equipped to your ship. They're really important because the ship drives a lot like a boat, which is especially troublesome because the missile lock-on is slow. So the turrets are going to have to keep you safe while you get that slow thing together. Sometimes it's actually almost impossible to lock on to certain players because they're just more nimble than you and they're playing well. Unfortunately, that makes the Retaliator really tilting to play when you're just in a forever spin, desperately trying to get your lock on for your size 9 missiles. Luckily, however, the AI aren't that agile or know what they're doing well enough, so it's pretty easy to take them out, especially from distances. I just one-tapped an AI there with 1 missile, and I'm about to one-tap the next one, making this one of the fastest fights I've ever been in. But then later in this very same play session, unfortunately, I could not keep my target long enough on a player to make this slow lock-on fruitful. If you're playing with friends, it might be easier. Not friends in the turrets, I mean friends in the other ships. Because then you can draw focus away from you, disengage, and then have more time to lock on again. The missiles, being so strong, make this a really fun and rewarding ship to play when you're playing against AI. Like I said, against humans, it's a lot trickier. Because the cockpit doesn't have any other guns, it would be really hard to make this your primary ship for play. You would have to rely solely on your missiles, and if you were going to try and hunt player bounties, you would probably get exhausted and give up pretty quickly. The shields are very strong, but you're also a big target, so it balances out and makes it feel like they're not quite as beefy as they really are. It could hold boxes if you want to do delivery missions and something this big and swanky, although I don't exactly recommend it. All in all, it's fun, but it's not your main ship. If you can have a backup with this many missiles, yeah, I would say go for it. Motherfucker got in the bed. All the way in. Can you get out?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that's cool.